Hey, this is Savage Joy with Real Progressives. This is Miss Duchess. She gets cranky because I don't always have her on camera with me. Say hi, Dutchie. Hi. She said nobody else running is even close to progressive, so she wants Bernie. Right? See, Dutchie. So today is an impromptu show where we are going to rant, basically, and discuss the neolibs who are going to be running for president in 2020, who people kind of call progressives, even though they're the furthest thing from it. So we'll discuss that, and just like I joined Twitter last week. So if you're on Twitter, please follow me. It's Savage Joy Marie 1. But I'm definitely learning what people are saying, that there's a bunch of idiots on Twitter who are just total neolibs and they'll bully people. Okay, Duchess, say bye-bye. Bye. She wants food. Her tummy's growling. So, I was looking at Twitter today, and I mean, it's just like the thing that really set me off. And if you guys follow me on my page, you'll see I was like, I'm gonna get banned for the language I'm using, because I went off. There was an article which is called and it has, I got over 400 freaking shares on Twitter. That's how abhorrent it is. And it's called Beto is the New Bernie. Okay, that's bad enough. But here's what made me fume. They morphed Beto and Bernie's faces together. It was Beto with like Bernard's hair and like his suit and stuff, but then they put Beto's face in there. And I was like, all right, I'm about to verbally cut a bitch because this is so offensive. The thing is, like, you're taking a man who has fought for we the people for 40 years, and you're replacing him with the face of someone who is Jessica, I can't. Okay, I can't. Berno O'Randers. Okay, that's what I did. I made hashtag progressive cock blocker. That's what I put on Beto's page. Hashtag progressive cock blocker. Let's make that shit trend. Because that's essentially what he's doing. He's like, I'm going to set up the pretense that I'm progressive and, let all those who are completely uneducated fall for it. And it's going to work because I'm cute and I ride a skateboard and I play guitar. So the article was just ridiculous, but the picture, the morphing of the pictures, I was just like, it takes a lot to offend me, a lot. But that it's a new low, honestly. To me, there is, yeah, you know what, Cher? Better than Ted? Yes. And that's a state. So we're talking about a country. And when he served the state for 6 years, and the problem is, if you look at his voting history, there is zero progressive about that man. Zero. He has over $30,000 worth of donations from the Republican Action Committee of Texas. Only so-called Democrat they have ever donated to was Beto. Why would the Republican PAC donate to a Democrat unless they thought he was a Republican? He bailed out, the big banks. He was, he's totally cool with fracking, and he wouldn't sign HR 676. There's just countless things. There's nothing progressive about him. They're trying to wish him into being something, and he's not. He also, so today someone put a meme on Twitter, and I wanted to look it up just because, some people for some reason actually call me a journalist, which is still kind of weird. But Trevor, absolutely. Trevor said he took nearly $500,000 from the fossil fuel industry after pledging not to. Exactly. So you're gonna, you're gonna vote for someone who has a history of lying about these things. Why? This is bullshit. I'm not voting for anyone unless they have a history of fighting for the things. Lori says Beto will fade before 2020. I hope you're right, but I really don't think he will. I think so. Okay, so I digress. But one thing, and it may as well be naivety. I'm not sure. But one thing I'm hoping is that, what I'm hoping is that when Obama called a meeting with Beto and with Gillum, what he was telling them is, hey, look, Joe's, this is going to be like Biden's last run. So what I'm going to need you to do is step out, and then you can run next time and I'll endorse you. That's what I'm hoping this is, because why else is Obama going to, meet with Gillum and Beto? Well, aside trading secrets about bombing people and stuff maybe, but I hope that's what it is, because he did a comparable thing with Hillary. But it's like, why would he talk to Gillum and Beto if his former vice is talking about running, except if he was telling them back off? I mean, that's the only thing I can think about practically. I hope I'm right, but who do you, because I'm trying to skim the comments while you guys are putting them. Who do you guys fear the most? To me, I think I fear Biden, Beto, and Kamala. To me, those are my three. Oh, and fucking Warren. Warren stated today she's probably going to run, which isn't a surprise, but there are so many people who still think she is the greatest thing in the entire universe. Why? And I just posted her funding information. She's gotten like thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars from Comcast, AT&T. And what they do is they say, well, that's not a PAC. That's a job. And that's how they, that's how they rationalize it. I had Congressman Ro Khanna back on for the third time last Thursday. When he comes on, we always talk about how he came up with legislation to have people, to have congressional members sign on to this legislation stating they will not take any more big money for their campaigns. Now, problem is that when Ro first came on my show last year, he was first kind of talking about it. And including him, there were 6 people who had signed it. 6 in all of Congress. Okay, that sucks. Second time Ro came on, 6, including him. So he comes on last week, and I'm like, okay, well, now you got, Kamala saying, oh, I won't take any big money anymore. And, you got Beto saying he won't anymore. and all these people. So, Ro, how many people have signed? No, we're still at 6. What? What the fuck? What, how does that make sense? Okay, so I asked him why, and he said, well, the problem is when I'm approaching them, they're saying no, they don't want to sign because they feel like they can't then take endorsements from Planned Parenthood and shit like that. And I'm like, I don't understand. And he didn't understand either. It's just a total bullshit cop out. That's what it is. They are being liars. They are saying they are not going to take this money anymore. It's complete and utter bullshit. And there's your proof, because one of their equals is telling them, hey, I have this legislation. You said you won't take that money anymore. Here you go. Sign it, tweet it, say, look, I proved to you. They won't do it. It's so crazy. And things like that, if people would just actually look into stuff and research, well, let's put it this way, if they would care enough to research. Trucido, I absolutely agree. Corporate lobbying should be illegal and a felony. I agree. I made a post on Twitter yesterday or the day before, and basically what I was saying is that the entire progressive agenda, if you want to call it that, between Medicare for all and Green New Deal and everything like that, the entire thing is all contingent on getting big money out of politics. All of it. We cannot get Medicare for all and reasonable prescription prices as long as these, shills and neolibs and Republican lights are in Congress and, Senate and House, taking all this money, basically giving, and okay to, yes, give me this money, and then I won't vote for the people who are dying. That's, priority. So I think that should be our focus. A lot of times we focus on a lot of things, and while these things are so important, I think we need to also focus on how to achieve them. We're doing so much. There's so many activists, and I'm not talking about slacktivists who just, sit online all day and troll, like actual activists, those of us who organize and march and everything like that. These are the people who are fighting and helping and bring attention to things. But at the end of the day, if we can't get money out of politics, I can't see any of this actually coming to fruition. And Ro agreed as well. And I think a lot of, progressives understand that for sure. A lot of us didn't realize just how much money was behind campaigns and how much it affected people. I am not a fan of Obama for so many reasons, but the one thing that sticks out on this topic was a few years back, he made a comment in an interview which said, oh, I know taking money from corporations changed me. And I was like, wow, I don't know if he realized he just said what he said, but I appreciated him acknowledging that, even though it was likely, an accident. But I was like, okay, well, there you go. There's no possible way that corporations are going to give you $30,000 unless there's something in it for them. They are not a charity. They're not a 501c3. They're not helping dying people. That's not what they are. They're trying to make money. They're using you. They're saying, you can be our poster boy. And yes, some people may die in the process, but you know what? We make money. all good. So that needs to be a focus. When I had during 2018 primaries in general, a lot of you guys know I interviewed over 100 progressive / Bernie-crat / Green / independent candidates from around the country. I had I had a litmus test. I would get sent suggestion after suggestion. I still do. And before I'd ask anyone to come on my show, I would research at least, say, 2 hours. Just going even Google, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, even their freaking LinkedIn. Like I would research the hell out of these people, because my goal is to have a place where people can come to know that they're not going to get a Beto on here. I actually had the chance to interview Beto, and I regret turning it down now, because I would have had him crying in the fetal position, but I didn't know how. It was during the primaries, so I didn't know how much it was going to blow up. But anyway, now I'm reading the comments and I forgot what I was going to say. So yeah, that's true, Trucito. Oh yeah, but so I interviewed, over 100 candidates, and every single one of them, the litmus test was you had to have voted for Bernie or Jill in the primary. If you voted for Hillary, you're not a progressive. Sorry, unless you've had some awakening since then, which would be awesome. Yeah, you're not coming on. You have to take $0 from any kind of, big entity. You have to support Medicare for all or universal health care in those words specifically. You have to support Green New Deal. And I would go down the line. These are things that you just you weren't coming on this show if you did not support those things. So sometimes, and then I'd go back to these people and I'd say, why would you recommend them? Because they're not like anyone I've ever interviewed. And, they'd say, well, they're more progressive than who they're running against. Okay, but it's like, they think it's a sliding scale, but Trump, but Cruz. Okay, this, lesser evil bullshit is why we are where we are. Not all of us go that route. Oh, Tina, he ain't gonna come on my show now. I guarantee he knows who I am. I'm sure, people, I'm so serious, people actually warn candidates about me, because sometimes candidates would come on without knowing who I was. And then I'd be like, okay, so can you explain why, and I'm like, dude, my show is called Savage Joy because that's the name I was given. I didn't pick it. So if they don't research me and see that I'm not, oh, thank you. And I actually do call them out on prior votes and, things like that. That's not my problem. You should research who you're going to talk to. So the fact that they didn't, oh, well, that's not going to make me, be more lenient. So I know there's, I shouldn't even say this, but there's one candidate who, and this hasn't happened. There's just one candidate who it's become a joke. I keep freaking messaging him, and he keeps seeing the messages and not responding. So after twice, I'm like, fuck that. He's being a twat. But then I'm like, you know what? This is so fun. So fun. I'm just going to keep messaging him and see how many times it takes. And now this weekend, I'm going to be like, okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go on Twitter and I'm going to be like, hey guys, why do you think such and such will never get back to me? Because I have no doubt in my mind he must know who I am, and he must be scared to be confronted by me. And actually, the funny thing is, I like him though. I wouldn't even really say anything that bad, that bad. But yeah, I'm like waiting to just put it out there over the weekend and be like, do you guys have suggestions? And then maybe he'll be like, oh wait, what? No, I didn't see them, even though it's lit up. But yeah, so there's Beto, Kamala Harris, something that, you know, she's so much more abhorrent than so many people know. Now, unfortunately with Kamala Harris, the identity politics is going to play a big part. Identity politics is why Hillary got as far as she did, things like this. So you have, no, it's not Beto. No, trust me, I wouldn't blame him if he didn't answer me. Trust me, I would not blame him because I would not be nice. But yeah, Kamala, so there's, there's there was this person in California. Now, I know a lot about Kamala because I am very passionate about for-profit prisons and how they need to basically be dismantled, and just it's legalized slavery. Really, it's all it is. And so that's something I'm very passionate about. And if you speak to people in California, they will tell you how much stuff Kamala has done to absolutely eviscerate shit in California. I mean, there are so many Black and brown people in prison because of that woman. She takes money from for-profit prisons, and she was a lawyer, so she's totally okay with it. These people are like getting arrested for like a bag of weed, and they're in there making 2 cents a day, being slaves, essentially. It's so gross. It's disgusting. So anyway, there's so many people and a lot of women of color in this thread, and they have no idea what I'm talking about. No idea. None. And it made me so sad. They were all very respectful, very understanding, very like, thank you for showing us this. And it made me so sad that like this really isn't known, even by people in California. It's, you know, I don't know. Some of it I think is just cognitive dissonance. Sometimes I think it's just, you know, lack of research. I'm not sure, but Steve, I was going to say that as well. She won by less than 1% the last time. So, and it's the bluest of bluest states. And the guy she was running against, who she won by 1% with, is the biggest batshit crazy Republican, like batshit crazy. And she won by 1%. It's, you know, that's a good point. That is a good point. I like that. I didn't catch your name, so I'm not sure who said it. Yeah, Steve, facts get covered up because propaganda demands it. You're absolutely right. The one thing that is just going completely viral about the Beto is the new Bernie article is that the guy literally states in it, it's not about policy. What? It's not about policy? Like, that's the problem. It's not about policy. It hasn't been since way before 2016, but most recently in 2016. It is, you know, freaking stupid ass, dumbass Pelosi comes out. Everybody, oh my God, yes, Queen. Yes, Queen Pelosi. Oh my God. Yes. And celebrating her because She walked out of the freaking meeting and people are like, oh, she schooled Trump. Dude, Trump endorsed her. He's not scared of her. Stop. She is not your hero. If she is, that's sad. But she comes out and she's wearing sunglasses, okay? And there's an article that says how Pelosi's attire won the day with Trump or something. I'm like, we're talking about aesthetics? Dude is keeping kids in cages and we're talking about aesthetics. She won the day because she wore sunglasses. And people are so, oh my God, it's just so crazy. Yeah, sunglasses, that's something to celebrate. That's why when you have someone with substance, like, okay, Bernie has been kicking ass for 40 years. He just kind of, accomplished something that's never been done in history yesterday, saved a few lives. But you know what? He has crazy hair and he's old. Well, you know what? I'll take it. I will take it in a heartbeat. Exactly, Diane. Exactly. Trump would not have endorsed Pelosi unless she wasn't working with him. So, Mark, our teammate said Pelosi's future's so bright she's gotta wear shades. Lori, right on. Yeah, it's really incredible. How do you guys feel about the fact that granted, there was nobody stepping up against Pelosi in the speaker position. I get that. But how do you guys feel about, the fact that, A, no real progressives actually stepped up to take her on, and also the fact that people who are seen as progressives went and endorsed her immediately without using any of that leverage. Pramila Jayapal, she literally endorsed her like a few days after she won her re-election by like 83%. Now, Pramila is actually the head of the Medicare for All caucus, and she jumped at the chance to endorse Pelosi, who does not support Medicare for All. Pramila is regarded as a huge progressive. She duped me for a while. I met her in Chicago at the People Summit. She had me duped. I was like, oh yeah, this woman's awesome. Just because she's intelligent and stuff, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, she had great ideas. So she sold out mad quick. And yeah, Alexandria protested her and a week later endorsed her. I don't know why people aren't pissed about that. I don't understand. Why aren't you pissed about that? There are people who I bring it up and they just go full force. Like, she did what she had to do. No, she didn't. She didn't have to. They don't even vote until January. I mean, why did they need to? First of all, if she's the only option, why the hell are you endorsing her? What the hell does it matter? She's not running against anyone. That makes no damn sense. Second of all, without endorsing her, you have leverage. You can say, well, you know what? I can't endorse you because you don't want Medicare for All and you haven't signed on to it publicly. So I can't support you yet unless you do this. That's leverage. That's what we had. But then the fact of the matter is, she endorsed her a week after protesting her, and now Pelosi knows she has it in the bag, And the Dems literally already gave her the position, even though they don't vote till January. It's like the super delegates all over again. It's like, yeah, we're gonna vote for you, so don't worry about it. You've got this in the bag already. And then they think they're winning something by telling her she can, they'll give it to her if she can agree to only go for 4 more years. Bitch is 78. Yeah, she's only going 4 more years anyway. That's not a win. It's people are very, intimidated. I had Stephen Jaffe on twice. He was running against Pelosi. He is a beautiful person. We've become very close friends. He should have won. He should have won. She is the bipolar opposite of everything Stephen stands for. And, California has that jungle primary thing where, you can go against, 2 Democrats or a Republican and a Green, or it's just the 2 people with the highest votes, period. They run against each other. So if people actually showed up, then Stephen could have run against Pelosi and we could have had a progressive instead of her. But 21% of California voted. 21%. It's incredible. But yet those 79% are complaining about Pelosi. You had a chance to get rid of her. You had a chance. You didn't do it. So, you're seeing all these other choices. Biden, I posted an article on Twitter and Facebook 2 days ago, yesterday or the day before. And it was an article from, I believe it was 1976 with Joe Biden. And he was laughing and making jokes in the article about how he did not want to be involved with civil rights. He didn't think he needed to be part of the movement. And then started making jokes about how he doesn't look good in tie-dye. That's what his comment was to people of color being treated that way. Haha, I don't look good in tie-dye. Really? So, there's things like that with him. There's also, being comfortable enough to be on camera and grab a woman's breasts, There's also making kids squirm and try to pull away and stuff like that. He has no concept of spatial awareness at all. Why? Oh, okay, what about Anita Hill? The way he treated that woman was disgusting. And 2-3 weeks ago, he was giving W a freaking award. He's a Republican. He is a Republican. Obama is a liar and a warmonger, and he was his vice. Aren't you the company you keep? Probably. So the interesting thing about Biden is you're right, he is one year different from Bernie. But I don't understand why so many people are allowed, you have to have a D next to your name, and then you're kind of absolved from anything you do, including sexual assault or anything like that. So when it has, when it comes to, why aren't people showing the picture of Joe Biden, literally going like this to a woman on camera, hands full on breasts? And, and I was telling that to this woman online the other day, and she said, well, you know what? I met him and he was a perfect gentleman. Okay, first of all, maybe he's not attracted to you. Second of all, were you in a crowd of other people? Yeah, it was at a rally. gee, maybe it wasn't an opportune time for him to grope someone with like 1,000 other people around. It's so bananas. Like, total apologists when it comes to anything Democrat. They cannot do anything wrong if they have a D next to their name. I didn't say he was a pedo. I said he has no concept of spatial awareness. That's what I said. Because if you watch videos of him touching kids, they're like this. And he makes them very uncomfortable. So that's important. That's a very valid thing to criticize someone for. And I did not use the word pedo. Yeah, Stephen, totally. Totally. Yeah, there's a lot of hypocrisy. A lot. So Warren is another one that just people like, there's certain people that if you talk about them and say anything negative, even if it's 100% valid and factual, there are certain people who will absolutely just go crazy on you. Okay, one was Gillum. You know, oh my God, don't talk about him. You will get just, you know, verbally kicked the shit out of. Beto, can't say anything about him. Warren, Elizabeth Warren, I could drop facts on her all day. And, you know, even if I'm a woman, it doesn't matter. I'm a sexist. So I pity the guys, you know, who are like, look, she just voted for the $700 trillion war budget increase. Sexist. You know, no, he hasn't been accused that I know of, Laura, which is why I didn't call him a pedo. I'm very surprised he hasn't been accused because he literally grabbed a woman's breast right on camera. Like live TV. But so anyway, yeah, Elizabeth Warren is something that people are like so in love with. She was standing at the top where her office is. And in DC, you know, they're all, I've been to the Capitol office. It's like literally every senator is in like a wing, and like all their offices, most of them are never there. But there was this thing going on downstairs, and it was for women's rights. It wasn't the march or anything, but it was a bunch of women who were sitting down on the ground singing songs that they had written about women. So like women's rights, women power, things like that. So Elizabeth Warren literally takes about 3 feet outside of her her office door, stands by the balcony and goes like this, and just does that, like literally just, and they go ape shit. Absolutely. You're a hero. You're a hero. Bitch, if you cared, you'd go and sit down on the floor with them. You don't give a shit. You're trying to make people, you know, like you want to be celebrity. You don't care. Like if you're so proud to be a woman and you're, you know, you support what they're doing so much, go join them. Go done it. Go do it. Go sit there with them. Learn the words. Sing with them. You stand there and you go, ha, 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 and then like, okay. And then she goes back in her office, and the best thing was that you watch the comments and everyone's like, Elizabeth Warren, a woman for the other women, a woman of the people, a woman who will never let us down, a true hero, fights for us every day, all this stuff. And I'm like, did you just watch the same shit I just watched? Because all I saw her do was take 3 steps, wave, take some credit for standing there, I guess, and then turning around and going back in her office. So these these people are the ones we have to, be prepared to kind of combat their minions, because it's going to be all out fucking war. It already is, and nobody's even announced yet. Also, put in the comments, I don't always get time to read them all, but because I work full time in addition to these shows, but put in the comments how many people you think are going to run as the D, for 2020. I am guessing 15. That's kind of been my number. It very well could be more than that. For me, it's Bernard, Warren, Kamala, Beto, Ojeda, Booker. Yeah, I'm going to say 15. That's going to be my number. I hope it's like 5, but I know that's not realistic. So put in there what you think. 12 to 14. I got it. I dig it. The other thing that people say a lot that the more candidates, the better. And I could not disagree more. Simply because here's the thing. If you would have asked me 2 years ago, I would have said, yeah, bring it on. More people, the better. But after interviewing 100 candidates from across the country, I can tell you that all the ones I interviewed who were running against more than like a couple people, even the winner got like 20%, because it divides it. You take, let's say you have 12 people running and 100 people vote. Well, nobody's going to get more than like 20%, because it's plausible, but it doesn't happen. So you're still taking those votes and you're still dividing it. Now, also with those votes, you get delegates. Hey, Laura, I'm a very proud independent. There is nothing I want more. Trust me. I would probably dance and scream and jump and for like a year straight. She said she wants Bernard to run independent, and I'd give anything, like literally anything. But so it goes by delegates. So if even the winner of the primary is only going to get like one delegate, because there's, they only got 20% of the vote. So everybody gets a delegate, things like that. So mathematically, it is not advantageous at all to have that many people. And that's only just because of, doing my interviews with candidates that I would realize that's happening. I don't see some of these people as running. I do not see them the type to drop out. Like if Elizabeth Warren's running, which she is implying, especially today, that she will, I don't see that woman ever dropping out. She will fight tooth and nail to the end. Same with Kamala, same with Biden. Things like that. They're not going to drop. So if you have 15 candidates, you're going to keep having 15 candidates until they slowly start losing, essentially. The Republicans, they had a lot, but they also started dropping because they realized they weren't going to win. They were getting like 5 votes. But that's not going to happen with the Dems. They all have their little clan. So it's going to be interesting. That's for sure. Lasai. It's definitely, yeah, you're right, Trusino. There is no left. The left is independent. That's the left. Like, when people say I'm a green, I'm like, oh, okay. I'm an independent. Okay. They say I'm a Democrat, and I'm like, what kind? I have to like really like ask questions. Are you cool with taking big money? Are you for Medicare for all? Like there's different factions within the Democratic Party. So saying a Dem, whereas it used to be like just you're a Dem, now it's kind of like, what kind? I mean, essentially, when I was growing up, I voted Dem for over 2 decades. Yeah, I'm a lot older than I look. And that's how I voted. And to me, being a Dem was literally nothing more than what was on your voter registration card. That's all it was. Now, parties are so huge in the way people, like, they talk about party way more than people. Way more. Yeah, non-Republican in name only. I vote person, not party. I wish more people did. But yeah, they talk about party all the time. He's not even a Democrat. Okay, good. That's good. I like that. Thank you. That's a compliment. Because he shouldn't fit in with what is considered a Democrat right now. So anyway, I keep digressing. I'm sorry. I had to switch my show tonight because I have an important phone call at 3 minutes ago. So, but thank you guys. Yeah, I mean, I work full time, and then I had to go to the hospital for something. So I'm a bit tired, but sleep in on Saturdays. But anyway, so yeah, thank you guys for watching as usual. I'm in talks with a few cool people to see about next week. I have been speaking with 2 lovely women who are activists and on the border where all the migrants are coming in, and they're giving them food and water and clothing, and they're going to be coming on to discuss what they're seeing, what they're doing, and how we can help. So I'm in talks with them. Hopefully next week. Their schedule is kind of, dependent on what what need there is on the border at that moment. I'm also talking to 2 women in Syria who would like to come on and discuss their experience. So, I mean, there's a lot that I'm working on. It's just scheduling is always the thing, because they're usually different time zones. And as I said, I work full time. So, but yeah, I do what I can. So thank you guys so much for watching as usual. Thank you guys. I love you guys too. Always, share, follow. Again, my new Twitter is Savage Joy Marie 1. And I post some stuff on there I don't post on Facebook. I've been trying to use it a little more. So, but again, thank you so much. And, I'm down, Steve. I'd come back anytime. Thank you guys. Have a great weekend. And don't take no shit. Stay savage.